because I remember you saying you were making fun of wine snobs, and you were like, "Oh, you could give like wine snobs Franzia," and they wouldn't know the difference.
They wouldn't.
And I was like, "Yep, we're gonna be friends."
We're gonna be No, totally. I remember when I went to a winery a couple weeks ago, and the guy doing the tour told us like the proper way to drink wine. I'm doing air quotes right now. And he was like, you pour it and then you swirl it a bit to like activate the flavors or whatever. And then you sip it, and then you like, as you're holding it to your fucking mouth to fucking sip it, you like take in the aromas. And he was like, and he had us, we're all holding our wine like we all just want to drink it. And he's like, take a sniff, and we're like, okay. And then he's like, and then you swirl it, and then he made us smell it again, and it did smell different. Like, it's true, like that did something. Or then he also said like when you slant it, it will smell different because you're getting the fucking flavors at the bottom or something. But then he like it was funny though, because he was like, okay, like I had to tell you guys that, but like you can just drink it now. Like everyone just wanted to drink. So it was really funny. I was worried that we were going to get a group who was like, oh, I'm not here to drink. I'm here to just learn about wine. Like, no, I'm here to drink. And then I also was worried that they were going to give us like a spit bucket, because I was like, I'm not spitting out wine. And thankfully they didn't.
I was just speaking of a spit bucket. I was just thinking when you started talking about that guy,
Uh-huh.
like I was thinking of that episode of Bob's Burgers. Like, oh, you got a wine tour from the guy that like Bob had the wine off with.
No, luckily this guy was way cooler than that, but I was thinking of that guy.
Those kind of people just like, I get like, because I'll drink Franzia, but like I was telling Star, like if you've had like any wine even remotely better like recently, like you will taste the difference like the first at least half a glass, if not the first full glass.
Yeah.
But then you like get over it.
Exactly. Yeah,
But
it's like
the people they're like, oh, you gotta like get your nose in there and smell it. And you can only drink wine from like these years, and it's like, just let me. And you can only drink wine from these countries, because if you drink wine from anywhere else, like that's pathetic. It's like, dude, just let me drink my wine. Like, I don't fucking care.
I know, it's like, okay, you're just obviously a boring person, because like, how is this your hobby? Like, you're like, you have so much time on your hands that you made like drinking something and getting drunk not the fun part. Like, that's weird. Like, what are you doing? Just drink water then. Get yourself some San Pellegrino or something. Like, the wine was amazing, and I totally was like, oh, okay, like, box wine isn't gonna taste as good after this wine. But yeah, you just get used to it, because I'm not gonna spend like $40 on a bottle of wine every day. Or ever, really. I'm not gonna like go into a grocery store and be like, oh, $40 for wine? For one wine? No. I could get 3 boxes for that. I could get 3 boxes of wine. Like, that's so much wine. I've got other things to do. I've got places to be drunk. I gotta be efficient with this.
Yeah, like like I said, Franzia is not the best, but I'll still drink it. Like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
It still tastes like like if I drink it right now, I'd probably be fine, because I've mostly been having seltzers lately. But if like, even if I had been drinking like wine and then I'm like, oh, this doesn't taste that great, like I'm gonna get over it like in a few sips.
You'll be fine. After the first glass,
It's
you'll
still
be
gonna
like,
taste good.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah. And I feel that same way about barefoot, because I know there are also people like, oh my god, I can't drink like barefoot wine, and I'm like, it's like $5 a bottle. Like,
I know. The only issue I have with barefoot is the foot on the logo. It's the only
yeah,
off-putting thing for me, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, I refuse. I refuse to drink that. Like, no, I don't. Like, it's not like I'm gonna be like, wow, that night was amazing. I had such good wine. Like, that's not gonna be the highlight of my night.
yeah. I did get a $40 bottle of wine once, but I drank it and I'm like, well, yeah, this is good. But then I tried Nina's wine that's like half the price, and I'm like, this is just as good, if not better.
Nice.
So why am I gonna pay like twice as much
Yeah,
when
it's just...
I'm not one of those wine snobs that like, oh, I can taste the difference.
I honestly, like, I just don't even want to be a wine snob because it's expensive. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
get to a point where I can't enjoy a $5 bottle of wine. Like, no thank you.
Yeah. I do have a couple of like wine enthusiast books that I got for Christmas, I think,
Uh-huh.
from my brother, but I hardly ever look at them, and when I do, it's just like, oh, like what if I'm trying like a new wine that like I've never had before, like, oh, what goes good with this?
Oh, yeah.
Because they have like wine pairing things, but 90% of the time, if I really want to know, I just Google it.
Yeah, same. Do you know what I don't like is like everyone would pair like wine with like brie, but I don't like brie. I just am not into it.
I've actually never tasted it.
It's nasty.
I have a story about why.
Ooh.
When I was in, I can't remember if it was middle school, like late middle school or like early high school, I watched Queer as Folk.
Uh-huh.
And and my mom like even let me get like the DVDs.
Ooh.
And they had like an outtake on one of them because in one episode this one's throwing like a fancy wine and like cheese party to impress this one guy he had like the hots for.
Uh-huh.
And then his friend comes in and eats some of the brie and he's like, this tastes like fucking cum. One of the guys that's gay in real life like ate some and he's like, oh my god, you're right.
I wish I had seen that. I would have avoided it. Like, it's so not good. I remember because the first time I had it, it was like one of my first like, oh, we're all over 21 now. Let's have a nice like wine and cheese night, you know?
Yeah.
And we were like feeling really grown up and she laid out just this pretentious girl and she laid out like all this brie and I'm drunk and I'm like, oh my god, yes, cheese, like that is exactly what I need right now. And I took a bite and I was like, like I was like, this is so nasty. And then I immediately drank more wine to get this disgusting cheese taste out of my mouth. Like it made me like want to throw up. I was like, this is not good. I felt so betrayed. It was like another moment where it was like, this is what adults are doing. This is what they're. Never again. But
yeah,
people
so
like
that traumatized me. And I was like, I'm never trying this.
More people need to see that.
Because I was like younger and I'm like, I don't want cheese. I don't want anything in my mouth that's food that tastes like that.
Yeah, I don't want
and
that.
I don't even know what this tastes like.
Yeah. You're like, I don't want to know.
Then I told my mom this
Uh-huh.
as an adult, and she's like, oh, maybe I should let you watch that show. And I'm like, no, that's not the takeaway.
No, your mom did the right thing. She saved you. Because I had to learn the hard way among friends, and everyone else was like, oh my god, yum, this is so good. And I was like, what is happening in the world? No brie, no melons. Like, these are nasty things. Like, now I have to hate the staff. And I couldn't even eat it. I couldn't even look at it. It's disgusting.
And it was probably mostly filled with like the worst melons, like
Cantaloupe.
cantaloupe and
Yep.
watermelon.
It was mostly there was no watermelon, thankfully, but it was like all
Oh,
cantaloupe. It was like 1,000 cantaloupe pieces and like two or three of the other things, and I just felt really betrayed. I was like, I literally came in here during my work day. Oh no, it was right after work, but I had to make reservations. Like I had to do so much work to get here because this place is like so busy, and this is what they
yeah,
do. Like, ugh, just a
it ain't
betrayal.
right.
It's not right. I bet you that those robots in Shopping Mall would agree that melons are disgusting.